The car broke down at the worst possible moment, on the shoulder of a quiet highway just as dusk began to swallow the sky. Daniel Reyes noticed it while driving home from his second job, his 8-year-old son Mateo asleep in the back seat, lunchbox still clutched in his arms. The luxury sedan sat there like a wounded animal, hazard lights blinking helplessly. Daniel slowed without thinking. He shouldn't have stopped. He was tired, his hands still smelled of engine oil and disinfectant from the hospital where he worked maintenance, but something about the scene pulled at him. He pulled over. A woman stood beside the car, phone pressed to her ear, frustration written across her face. She wore a tailored coat, heels sinking slightly into the gravel. When she looked up and saw Daniel approaching, her expression shifted from irritation to guarded relief. "Car trouble?" Daniel asked gently. She nodded. "Battery died. Or something. Roadside assistance says they'll be an hour." Daniel glanced at the sky, then at Mateo sleeping. "I can take a look." "No charge." She hesitated, clearly unused to accepting help from strangers. Then she exhaled. "Thank you. I'm Claire." "Daniel." He popped the hood, moving with the easy confidence of someone who'd fixed more problems than life had been fair enough to throw his way. As he worked, Claire studied him, his worn jacket, the careful way he wiped his hands before touching anything inside the car, the faint exhaustion behind his calm. "You do this for a living?" she asked. "Used to," he replied. "Before life got complicated." A small smile tugged at her lips. Minutes passed in a quiet rhythm broken only by passing cars. Then Daniel paused. Something about the dashboard caught his eye, a small, faded sticker tucked near the steering column. A tiny sunburst with the words "Keep Going" written beneath it. His heart skipped. He hadn't seen that sticker in over 15 years. "You like that?" Claire asked, noticing his stare. "It's silly, I know. I've had it forever." Daniel straightened slowly, his breath shallow. He looked at her again, really looked. The familiar curve of her smile. The eyes that once knew his dreams better than he did. "Claire," he said softly. "Claire Whitman." Her face drained of color. "Daniel," she whispered. The world seemed to tilt. They stared at each other, time collapsing between them. Memories flooded back. Late-night coffee during college, shared notebooks full of impossible plans, the night they promised nothing would ever come between them. "I thought you moved to London," she said. "I did. For a while. Then my mom got sick. Then, everything changed." Silence settled, heavy with unspoken years. Daniel cleared his throat and went back to the engine, grounding himself. "Your alternator's loose. I'll tighten it." As he worked, Claire leaned against the car, emotions flickering across her face. "I looked for you," she said quietly. "After you disappeared. I wrote," Daniel replied. "But your emails bounced back. Then I heard you'd been recruited by a big firm. I figured, you were better off." She laughed softly, a sound edged with sadness. "I built companies. Sold too. Everyone calls me a success story." She paused. "But I never forgot you." The engine hummed back to life. Daniel stepped away, wiping his hands. "That should hold," he said. Claire didn't move. She was looking past him, toward the open back door where Mateo had stirred awake. "That your son?" she asked. Daniel smiled, pride softening his features. "Mateo." Mateo climbed out, rubbing his eyes. "Did you fix the car, Dad?" "I did," Daniel said, crouching to his level. "Say hi." "Hi," Mateo said shyly. Claire's eyes glistened. "He's beautiful. His mom would have liked that," Daniel said, gently. "She passed when he was 3. Claire's breath caught. "I'm so sorry." "It's okay," Daniel replied. "We're okay." For a moment, Claire said nothing. Then she reached into her purse and pulled out a business card. "I run a foundation now. For families, kids, single parents. If you ever." Daniel shook his head kindly. "I didn't stop for that." "I know," she said, voice thick. "That's why it matters." She looked at him, really looked, and something inside her broke open. "You once told me kindness was the only real success," she said. "I didn't understand then." Daniel smiled. "Took me a while too." They stood there as night fully arrived, the past no longer painful but gently folded into the present. Claire finally straightened. "Coffee?" she asked. "If you have time." Daniel glanced at Mateo, who nodded enthusiastically. "Yeah," Daniel said. "We have time." As they drove off, two cars now moving in the same direction, Daniel felt something he hadn't in years. Not regret, not longing, hope.